Hello, it's Crafty Rhea, and I am so glad you are joining me today. Today we are going to be making some recycled Christmas cards and another card using items that have been hanging out on my desk. So these are clean off my desk cards. You may remember some of these from the jewelry box that I unboxed from Goodwill BlueBox. There were these two Christmas trees, like crocheted Christmas trees, and they have a little bit of glitter on one side and the other side is plain. And this was an earring. I just took the earring piece off and tied a pink bow across the top just to save a little bit of time in the video. There was only one of these earrings. I cleaned this down really well with some rubbing alcohol so the back would adhere to the card. All right, let me zoom you out and we'll go ahead and get started. So I went through my stash of Christmas cards and also some stuff that was on my desk. There was this piece of scrap paper left on my desk. It was a little bit longer, so I went ahead and trimmed it down so it's the right size to fit on a card base. And I also had this piece of paper ribbon hanging out on my desk. And I thought this went really cute on there. And I found this gorgeous small ribbon scrap in my ribbon scrap box. And I thought it would go really good on there. So we're going to do that. And then I have two Christmas cards to recycle with these. But let's go ahead and do this pink one first. I have some Aleene's tacky glue, and I just squeezed a little bit out on a piece of foil, and I just have some cotton swabs that I'm going to use to help me today. First of all, I'm going to adhere this base down, or this mat down to the base. My card base is an A2 size card base. It is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, which is a standard piece of office supply cardstock, folded in half and then cut in half, so it is a quarter size. And I have this piece cut down to 4 1/4, no, by 4 by 5 1/4. So it gives me an 1/8 of an inch border on each side. And then I'm going to take this piece of paper ribbon and I'm just going to adhere it just down the center of that card. So I'm going to use my tape runner and just run a few pieces down the center. I want to make sure there's plenty on here since that ornament is pretty heavy. Or maybe not ornament, the earring. It kind of looks like a Christmas ornament. So then I'm going to take my tape or my ribbon, I can't talk today, and just line it up based on this paper to kind of have it in the center of the card. And then I'm going to use my paper trimmer and trim the edges. Since it's paper ribbon, I don't have to worry about it fraying. So there we have that. And here we have the card base all set. And then I have this piece of ribbon. I should have put this on before I put this paper ribbon down, but that's okay. I'm going to use my tacky glue and put it on the back of this ribbon. Actually, I think I'm just going to put it across here because I don't want it to glue down the pieces that aren't adhered, if you know what I'm saying. Pieces that aren't going to be adhered. I'm going to trim one edge of it so it's nice and even. And then line that up on this left side. I'm pushing it down into that glue so it sticks really well and it gets into all of the little crevices. And then I'm going to trim this other side so it's even. And since the glue goes all the way to the edges, I don't really have to worry about it fraying. I think it'll stay on there pretty good. So then I have my little earring. It kind of looks like a Christmas ornament. I was going to put a sentiment like happy birthday or something on it, but I wasn't sure if I wanted it to want to use it as a Christmas card or a birthday or a thank you or what yet. So we'll see. And I'm just putting some glue on some of the larger pieces of the flowers and leaves on the back, some of the solid pieces. I'm being pretty generous with the glue. The tacky glue does dry clear and it's nice and thick and it really has a good grab. If you don't have tacky glue and you do have Elmer's glue, that should work as well. And I'm just pushing it down and there. Oops, I untied it with my fingernail. There we go. Once it is all dry, I will mess around with that bow to get it nice and straight. But there we go. We have that card done quick and easy, and it's really cool. Now for my two Christmas cards that are going to be using these two trees, I chose this one and this one. And I thought this one would go good with just that tree right over the tree he's holding. And since it is stitched, it has kind of like a burlap background, and I think it goes well. And then I thought this one would go good with the glitter showing right over that winter tree. But we can't stop there. I did dig into my stash a little bit, and I found these two snowflakes, and this wooden one I thought looked really good there. It's kind of a burlap looking, and this red one I thought looked really good on top of that tree. So that's what I will be doing. So the first one we'll do is this one. I'm going to use the same size card base. And I am going to trim off this Joy and Peace. First I'll trim off the front of the card. And I'm going to trim off the Joy and the Peace so I can reuse that for something else later. And I'm going to take one more little tiny trim to get any green off that I may have left on the bottom. And let me see how this card looks. I'm going to trim this side down just a tad bit more so it's even. And then I'm going to trim out the sentiment from the inside. Okay, and then I also have a piece of red construction paper. I've already trimmed it down to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, which is a perfect size for a mat. And I will use my tape runner to adhere it down. Sometimes I use wet glue on construction paper. I'm giving this a try with the tape runner. All right, that worked out pretty well. And then I will put this right on there. That looks kind of cute. This is a very thin card. The original store-bought card is very thin, which is okay because it won't take extra postage. Sometimes if your layers are all very thick, you'll have to put extra postage on your card. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on the inside. I have a scrap of that construction paper. You have to be really careful with the adhesive on the construction paper because it does like to pull up off of those fibers. There we go. And now we will put the Christmas tree on there, and I'm going to do it this way without the glitter. I want to see which one fits better. I think I'll do this one. And I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to take some of my tacky glue and I'm just going to dab it along the back, especially in the corners and around the edges. They do make a product called ribbon lines, which is a piece of kind of like a glue dot, but it's in the shape of a line, straight line, and that would be good for this as well. I have some, I just didn't get them out for this card. And I don't mind that it hangs over the edge a little bit. I think that makes it really cute. I just have to make sure I have an envelope that will accommodate it. And the same thing with the tacky glue. I'm just putting it on the back of this snowflake. And I'll stick the snowflake down on top of that. I think that came out really, really cute. Now the next one, I think I'm going to do this one with glitter side up just for some extra sparkle. So first I will cut this card apart. I'm going to cut it with just a little bit of that red border showing so I don't have to mat it. And I'm going to see how it's going to fit on my card base. I think that works well. I'm going to trim the other sides down so they all match. Okay. I didn't want to really mat this on anything else because it's already very thick. I think it's already been matted. So we have a little silver line and a little red line, and that looks really good. This card was sent to me, not to me personally, but it was sent for me to recycle. So that's what I'm doing with it. Normally when people send me homemade cards or handmade cards, I keep them. There we go. And then we just have that there. I like it. I'm going to get a new Q-tip. My other one had seen better days. I like the Q-tips because, or the cotton swabs, I should say. I shouldn't be brand specific. Because they do, I can just throw them away when I'm done. I don't have to clean them like a paintbrush. Okay, now I'm going to just stick this down onto the card. And then I will put some glue on the snowflake at the top. There we go. That card is done. And then when I'm done with this, I just fold it up and pitch that. And I have this little piece for the inside. I just happen to have that handy and hanging out here, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. Since the inside of the card was handwritten. There we go. We have 3 cards made from, I guess you could say, jewelry findings that I found in the box from the Goodwill DIY jewelry box. I hope you enjoyed this video and it gives you some ideas. If you have a broken earring or pieces from something else that you can't use or doesn't fit together anymore, feel free to put them on a card because it's a whole lot of fun and it's super easy to do. Plus it saves them from going in the trash. It saves the card and the goodies from going in the trash. And then sometimes challenge yourself. If you have a few scraps of something sitting on your desk, pick them out and just put together a card. If you haven't yet checked out my Facebook group, Create with Crafty Rhea, I'd love it if you did. The ladies there are awesome and they have some wonderful ideas over there. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button down below and then hit the bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate you very much. And until the next video, you know what to do. Go get crafting. Bye-bye.